I said I was going to talk about this again, so let's get into this. But it's going to be short, but yeah. So, with this, I think I've said a lot of my points about the old versus new in the reboot. Because I did. A lot of the points of what things I like changed and what things I didn't are in that one. Because that's why that's there. And a lot of the things I like changed are in that one. So you might be thinking, what's the point of this one? Besides certain things I fully want to talk about otherwise, which is the animation. Which I did talk about a bit, but I want to talk about that more. Because, you know, the live action one, and I fully admit, when I watched the thing of them being like, and then flying, looked amazing, I still loved how this one is animated, which I'm also going to point out, because I fully intend to not do this, and I probably should have. The one thing I also will talk about is something else. But again, this is weird. But yeah, the animation with this, I like. The feeling of movement is really good. I also like how it looks really nice. The animation looks phenomenal, and yeah. The other one, which is technically spoilers that I want to talk about, because I do know this and I find this interesting, is that How to Train Your Dragon is based on a book. Does that mean I'm eventually going to talk about the book? I don't know. I don't actually own the book. Maybe in the future I'll be like, okay, so I did the live action reboot, then the animation one that we were really done, and now I've done the book. We've come full circle. I would love that. That would be hilarious. But I do know a bit about the book. It's not uncleaning, but the one thing I love is, one, Toothless does not look like this. The idea of Toothless in both versions is you have a sort of dragon that can be like a rogue, like a dragon. Fly in, fly out, which is amazing. I also like the idea that that's the only one that doesn't pick anything, because realistically, that's not that seems to be their objective. Because the other dragons, they can sort of get stuff. While this one, which is more being sneaky, seemingly is to like be like the spy of TF2, which sounds weird, but I am going somewhere, which is sort of like go in and then go out, destroy certain things and then leave. Hence, it's very weird. I know my analogies make no sense. I also like the fact that in the book he's small and green. Also, they don't start hunting dragons. The reason why it's called How to Train Dragons is they're training dragons. Do I prefer this version than the book? I don't know. I haven't really read the book, but based on that initial reaction, this is more interesting in my opinion. Again, to the live action one, go watch that. I don't want to repeat my points, but both are still a fun version. I still, and I said this in the original, I still do prefer this one. I still find this fun, but I also do fully admit that I don't have glasses with me. This is in rose and it's not glasses, but that's not the point. I do admit that my eyes are covered in rose. I do admit and start to taking driver's seat on this. But I do also still admit, like I said in the last one, I do admit that the new one is good. This one is good. I still prefer this one, to be really honest. But I do also admit that I might be a bit nostalgic. There might be people who still like the original. And I think some people have also said that some people who watch the original and then watch the anime still say they prefer the original one. But compared to live action ones, this is a good step forward. Like if we get stuff like this, which is it's a great remix, it's amazing. Still for the original, but it's amazing compared to some of the other live action ones. I'll take this. Please, do stuff like this in live action. I know I'm doing that again, but it's good. It's amazing. Watch both. Fully. I like both. They're both good. I'm talking more about the remix, but that's kind of a bit complicated, so yeah. But yeah, more of this update. Nothing much to add. So yeah. Do you know one thing which is funny? This is also something that, weirdly enough, my opinion between season 1 and season 2 completely flipped. But yeah, for now, I hope you enjoy, and good night. So, previously on. I know that makes no sense, but yeah. So yeah, with this, I am going to say a couple of things forward. Because I didn't give season 1, I didn't really like it. And full transparency, my hand just appears. Full transparency, I didn't give it a chance. I fully admit that. It's one of the things that I think is important to mention when I say that one of the things about this that I would say was important was that there was a show about, I think there was like a mystery of like the Jedis beforehand, like how you see the corruption come in, and I heard that was cancelled because of Andor season 1, which soured my opinion of it. I also I thought it was decent, so that was the thing. With this, you're getting like that sneaky stuff. Yes, did you get it in the first one? Yes, but because I like the idea of, wait, the government. It's that thing of like, yeah, the first one's good because it's like, it's sort of like, you get heists, but it's a fine heist, but I'm fine. But when you get, when you get stuff like, what's happening at this event? Cover-ups, conspiracies. I'm like, yes, please, give me the conspiracies. And then you get something being built, which I love. You get the idea of this massacre to try and find these things. And I love it, this idea of like, what's truly going on? And also, Andor season 2 ends, I think, where I think it's like, it's the film before the first episode 1, but that, again, I like it, I find it fun. I do weirdly enough prefer season 2, but I don't know if that's because I got my opinion of season 1 a bit soured, so yeah, it is fun, it is worth it. But again, my opinion of this has changed quite a bit. So yeah, update here. Again, I constantly add this. If there's anything to add, like the comments or the percentage, I will mention it. And then again, another Die Hard, which would be fun. Yeah, going through this, but yeah. I keep forgetting to do this, but I hope you enjoy, and good night. And now, protection mode. That's weird, but let's go protection. So, this I find is interesting. So, in Die Hard 1, 2, and 3, 1 and 2 are similar-esque. And what I mean by that, and this is not a bad thing, and also non-spoiler section, which this is, counts for non-spoilers for this. I would kind of hope that if you're watching a review for the 4th one, you've watched 1 to 3. Okay? Just a little bit of thing. It's not a bad thing if you do. I'm not going to say otherwise, but I am a bit confused. Recommendation, do watch the other ones, then watch this. Then you don't need to watch the 4th one, but watch the first 3. Anyway. The one thing which is interesting is in Die Hard 1. The tower. Die Hard 1. The tower. He's trying to defend and get back the tower. Die Hard 2. The plane situation. The only exception would be 3 and 4. With 3 still being similar, being not around like a specific one location or one thing. 1, 2, 3 actually have that sort of thing of protection. Protecting the people on protecting the people in the tower, protecting the people in the planes, protecting the people of New York. But this one seems to be protecting one person, which I love. Because that change in dynamic, which I think probably was in the trailers enough. I'm like, it's enough vocally. But I think it's a clever idea. I don't have much in this, but the one thing I like, because overall with this isn't one of the things where I'm like, The first one I loved. The second one I thought was definitely an improvement. The third one, it is definitely showing like it's doing well. But that could be that there's Samuel L. Jackson, and that could be biased. Because I love him. I think he's one of the best actors. So call that biased, but I think that's better than Die Hard 2 because Samuel L. Jackson's in it, and I just love him. Not that way, but like I love his performance and his like thing. So I'm like, call it biased, but I think he's one of the best actors in Die Hard. But this one is one that I'm like, maybe not as good as 3. Or 2. I think this is good, but this is good. This is an amazing action, but because of how good Die Hard was being, for me at least, wasn't as good as the others. So yeah. This is not a bad thing by any understanding. I do think this is still really worth watching, and you should really do. I just, compared to the third one, it's not as good. I still do love this, and I am planning to watch all of these, even though it will be a long time. A lot of stuff is come between the things. Actually, when is the next one? Let me just check. I know this is like not what you signed up for, but let's see. I think, yeah, it's not even in the next thing. Actually, no, I think that's it. Could be. I think there's another one though. On, you know, because I remember there being 5 Die Hard, and this is Die Hard 4. And I can't find it. So I'm gonna look into that more, because I do think there is another one. And for some reason I don't have it in my list to do and watch. Whoopsie. But yeah, that is one thing that is gonna happen. But yeah, this has become bigger, but So a little bit of wording on this. Turns out, sometimes I put these ahead of time because of I'm weird and I had a whole thing that I was doing. So I put this one. And when I did my research, I had the other one. So this is kind of not relevant entirely. So I'm actually going to come back to this one because I was like, oh, there's a 5th one, which was the one I watched. I kind of forgot that part. So we're going to come back to this. I'm still going to do another one of these because, whoopsie, sorry. I also might go to this one, reword this one, and put in the next review that I do. So if you want to comment on what you thought about the movie I just watched, my Patreon exists. Also, I might do that in general. So I'm not going to do that. So there's going to be 2 updates alongside this. One, I might do in the next review what people said. I might actually keep it to what it is because besides adding tomorrow, actually I might not. So if you want to see it, go there. Sorry about all the confusion. I think I watched the wrong movie. Legitimately weird. Anyway, talk to me. Wait, is it talk to me? Yeah, it is talk to me. I have a note of like 10 things that I'm like, I'm reviewing these today. Very weird sound. Anyway, talk to me. It's fun. And creepy. But I hope you enjoy it and good night. So we're going to grab this hand and talk to dead people. Nope. I'm going to not do that. So I'm going to cut this out because I named the wrong director. Like an idiot. Because I think I heard somewhere. But anyway, besides the point. I think this is good. I think this is amazing. And I think this is really interesting. Definitely with some of the aspects is a little bit creepy. And definitely the sort of movements when someone takes over them is absolutely insane, in my opinion. I also like the hand and all that sort of stuff. But again, I don't really have much to talk about it besides it looks good and it looks amazing. But I am going to say, so before I say this, a little bit beforehand,
I kind of spoiled myself. And because of this, I kind of went into it knowing it. Which meant when I interacted with this sort of figure, so being sort of like her mother, my guard was up. Because if I'm correct, it's not. I think there's a couple of points where it sort of implies that it might be. So I don't know if she's not for the whole of it, but I think through most of it, when she's sort of like doing the like Lady of Water, it's a little bit interesting. I feel like that was the other thing which I was also spoiled with is that it ends up with her dying, which is like really interesting. I also find it so effed up about having certain people wanting people to join them and be like, join us in the death side. I also like the fact that at a certain point where she goes to this dark place, she sees his hand reach out, and then she, when she was originally doing the other side, becomes the person on the other side. So she's this person who's on the other side controlling other people, which is interesting. When I was searching to double check about the director thing, I have seen Talk to Me, which I don't know is a sort of sequel that they're talking about. Yeah, Talk to Me, which it seems to be a sequel. Which, if it is, I would love somehow they bring it out. I don't think they will, but I think that'd be interesting. But I don't think that's possible somehow. The one in this picture. But yeah. I do like it, and I do like that creepy nature, and I think it was a couple of interviews where they had this sort of level of addiction on it. And I like the idea where someone was like, oh no, I don't want to do it. And was like, oh no, come on, don't be a party pooper. Which is like Crown mentality, which I like. But again, it's fun, it's cool, it's amazing. Alongside more behind the scenes stuff alongside this, usually I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna get out of the TikTok app, go into the Patreon, go into this, take a picture, then come into the TikTok and do this. And then I realized, wait, I could just do all that beforehand, right? And then I just realized I just did that, and then that's how I did all of this. So that's how I'm gonna do it from now on, which is basically grab this off Patreon, then start it. So that's not important to you, but I did it backwards. So. And then tomorrow, this, which I like, but I hope you enjoy, and good night. This is going to be from one end to the other weirdness. So the one thing which I like about this is through most of it, you're kind of dealing with this group. And you're kind of dealing with this sort of not really spoiler stuff. It's minor, like, I don't think you get too much besides certain things. Most of it is, here's a thing, it gets wrapped up at the end, resolution. And I'm fine with it, and I don't mind it. I would never complain. Like, there's sometimes where it's like that, where you watch episodic TV shows, and that's good. Sometimes you want continuity, sometimes you have both. I'm fine with either. I'm not going to complain either way, I don't care. But I love that you get, on one hand, yes, we're going to have these nice things as spoiler adventures. And on the other hand, which I'm going to actually bring up now, this is mostly because I don't know what's in the trailer, but on the other hand, you get, you must find them, because it depends on the future. And you know what, it's like so weird. And at the end, they don't even find each other because it's like crossing. And you feel like these two stories will be built up to them like crossing paths and a battle. No, it's built up to, we need to go to this door right here. It's like, oh, so I'm just going through the door. This door, we need to go in. Oh, you know what it is? Da-da-da-da. It's empty. Oh. Someone who we didn't thought was going to be the two seeds that are going close together. No, it's not him.
Don't know why you think it's him. And I love it. That's not an insult. It sounds like an insult, but it's not an insult. It is really interesting that you get like this more calm, relaxed slice of life. Like, yeah, we're just gonna do these small things and learn challenges and learn this. And on the other hand, you're getting these 5-ish characters that don't connect to the other group of characters. I think it's even less. I think it's like 3 to 4 that are doing this like really dramatic war piece. I'm like, I don't think you belong in the same show, but you do somehow. I don't know. It is fun. It is chaotic. That's all I can really say. Go and definitely watch it. Update with this. Good. Okay, to update. So, and then to this, which I've been holding on a thing that I have in my head, but might not be true and might not be, but it's a theory that I've had. But yeah, I do hope you enjoy. I do hope you like this video, and yeah, good night. We're all going to die, but I don't know when. So a little bit of an introduction. I don't know if I've reviewed any of the Final Destination films, but I've watched all of them, which is Final Destination 1, Final Destination 2, Final Destination 3, and yes, if you have been seeing this channel, I recently did a song from both Final Destination 1, 2, and 3, which is, I think, the song that's in the airplane in Final Destination 1, the song Highway to Hell, which is in Final Destination 2, I don't remember the exact name of the first one, and there's someone walking behind you. And that was a reference to I made a Lego plane and I thought it was funny to put the first one from Final Destination, but because I didn't want the same song, I just put the 2 songs that are connected to a vehicle, being Highway to Hell is connected to the pilot, and there's someone walking behind you is both connected to the first section, which is connected to, again, another car accident, and later is also maybe in something else, and is also in the trains. That's just me being morbid. So, but when I heard this, because Final Destination 5 came out a while ago, it was a while, and if you would have said my favorite Final Destination 1, I would more say either going to Final Destination like 3 or even 5. Five's fun. 4's odd. I would say if you include bonus sections, I would say Final Destination. No, I think it's still 3. Yeah, 3 with that mechanic, because that was fun. Even though mostly it didn't really change much, people still died. It was fun, and I liked the sort of idea. So yeah. But, so if you want to summon any theory channels about this, there's a couple of things which I find is interesting about this. Which is essentially, let's go through it. Because one of the things that happens at first, which is the important part, is one of the most important things about this is, the deaths. And the first thing is that this is, here's the thing that happened in the 80s, and here's the result of it. It's, where's the thing? The bloodlines. So as a result, the death that happened originally, that was on, like, the Skyview Tower, it happened ages ago. Also, I love how it affected everything. I also love death being like, they didn't fix it, because if the tower didn't come back, maybe they wouldn't because of the tragedy. But that doesn't affect any part of the story, because it didn't get reopened anyway. So yeah. But, if you look at the bloodlines of what happened, the one thing which I love is you have the character, and then a lot of the deaths, including one of the deaths, which I'm like, wow, they showed like 2 deaths, which was the death that was in the tattoo shop, which, spoilers, because it's a spoiler section, he didn't die that. The first actual death, the first death is, I think, the sort of like great uncle. Not the great uncle, the uncle,
who dies by sort of having a lawnmower cut a bit off the top. And then you have the cousin in a garbage disposal. And then, because you thought the more older brother was next, you didn't get it correct. But then he dies in the magnet accident. And a lot of people have said the reason why this is what Bloodworth says. If you try and mess with death, things get bloody. However, I have a theory. So, here's the thing. This is a theory. This is hypothetical. This is my theory. Some in film theory, some in all of them. I don't mind. This is me going on a rant, okay? Cut the review time. I'm not going to actually change it, but cut the review time. Theory. He was supposed to die in the tattoo shop. And the reason why I say that is because if you know the whole point of Final Destination is if you avoid it, is if someone bumped you off. And in Final Destination 2, you had one of the characters bump someone else off and that person was going to die. Correct? That's Final Destination 2. How is it important here? If that character would have died, what would happen to the kid? And what do I mean by that? Well, that event would not have happened. The guy would have gone out and survived. He would have... Actually, no, the guy, if he died when he was supposed to, the big car crash situation wouldn't have happened because none of the characters in that, either in the pileup or any of the original death that was impacted by Final Destination 1, again, another proof of this theory, would have died. All that proves is that sometimes, because characters are alive, they interact. It's like the thing of, you can't change the future. You can't not change the future if you see a future, because you're seeing a concept of what could be a future. By turn, changing it. So, guess what I think? Because he would have still been alive, technically, in this scenario, because him and the cousin, his mum and sort of his dad might have actually had a one night and then come back later. Or maybe would have had a full relationship. We don't know. Maybe he would have had any siblings. But because I'm assuming death would have took him out into accountability, I'm assuming not. Because if people did not exist, you can make that argument here or there. Not the point. That's not important. He exists, he was born, he lived, and at a certain point, at the parlour, he plays rock music. Maybe he still has this sort of, like, personality. But guess who doesn't call? His cousin, because she doesn't exist. She wasn't born because her dad wasn't born, and... Not her dad, her mum wasn't born, and if her mum wasn't born, she can't be born. Correct? Makes sense. Because her mum, the main character's grandmum, is dead. So, he plays the rock music, the statue falls, and maybe that causes a chain reaction to cause his death. Is this a stretch? Maybe. But it's one thing that I believe in, and the reason why I believe it more is because this seems to be a parallel. I'm bringing Final Destination 2 back into the picture. Final Destination 2, Claire Rivers. Claire Rivers dies, even though she's not part of the Final Destination 2 group. And like I think CC well pointed out, because they're on two separate... I don't know if it was CC well or someone else. Two separate lists, they just get rid of both two people from two separate lists at the same time. Is this just a big theory to explain a couple of things? Yes, fully admit it. Does it sound insane? Also fully admit that. But it's one thing that I constantly am focusing on. Again, sorry about 5 minutes being taken off by my theory. Even though I'm probably mispronouncing that word. But I'm sorry, it's something that's on my mind. I still do love this movie, and I do think this is interesting. I just wanted to add this in, and I knew this was going to be long because of that. But all the deaths are really cool. You get one where a person gets put into a medical thing, crushing, and definitely how the ending is done, I think it's so good. Definitely when you see it through the penny, through like the newspapers, which is really clever. definitely some of the things in the newspaper, I'm like, originally I thought some of them might have been like callbacks to the other ones, but if you read it, it's not. They're like people who aren't named, but yeah. So yeah, sorry about all of that madness. Update here, nothing much to add about. But again, do watch it. It is a bit gory for being that. But yeah. So from not knowing what the murderer is to probably having to figure out who the murderer is. Yeah, that was a weird segue, but yeah, we're going to talk about this tomorrow. Which I think is interesting. It's going to be shorter. And sorry again for me ranting, but yeah. I always wanted to add this into the video, but yeah, I hope you enjoy, I hope you like the video, and yeah, I hope you enjoy, and good night. The video is over. You can carry on, scroll, it's over, I don't know. And now, this. So, I don't really have much to say about it, besides, I think the mystery is good, but I wasn't really intrigued by it. Again, this is one of the ones I think is interesting. There's two stories happening alongside each other, and I liked it, but this is going to be really short, and besides one thing, it's cool, it's interesting, but I didn't really get into it, so yeah. The one thing which I found is interesting is certain choices. And one of the ones I liked was that during the thing, one of the ways that like, oh, the person died was like a kid doing something that he didn't really knew. Like the AI being like, oh yes, this is just like a game, and just not realizing how dangerous what he just did was. Because it's interesting of like, oh, why? Because like sometimes like it's just interesting how like the AI takes advantage of like the child not knowing. But yeah, I said yesterday this would be a bit shorter. I didn't really. It was okay, but it's fine. The update of this. There's nothing much to say, but yeah, the Patreon exists. And then another short one with one of these. So yeah, I hope you enjoy, I hope you like, and good night.